Welcome, everyone. On behalf of the Oceanside Theater Company and the Scripps Ranch Theater, I'd like to thank you all for attending this reading of Quiet Cross. My name is Casey Tibbitts, and I'm the author of tonight's play. I think we'll agree that an event like this might have seemed far-fetched just a few months ago, but a lot's changed in that time, and the arts community is exploring innovative ways to stay connected with their audiences. One method is online presentations, and tonight's production represents the first such event for both theaters. We trust you'll bear with us as we navigate the nuances of this new technology and be patient if any issues arise. As we all know, the current crisis is also taking a considerable financial toll on the arts community. Tonight's reading is being offered free of charge, but we sincerely hope you'll consider making a donation of any amount to the Oceanside Theater Company. The link is on their website, www.oceansidetheater.org, and theater is spelled with an R-E at the end. So, about tonight's play. Quiet Cross was read publicly for the first time at the Scripps Ranch Theater in January and is tentatively scheduled for production there this summer. The January reading featured the same cast you'll hear tonight, and I'm very pleased that we're able to present it for you again. Quiet Cross will be read without an intermission and has a runtime of about 90 minutes. It takes place in the Boston area home of the O'Connell family over 5 consecutive rainy days in Lent. Introducing our outstanding cast. Susan Clausen is Kate O'Connell, a pious Catholic wife and mother devoted to her church and her family. Ted Leib is Tom O'Connell, Kate's husband, a partner in a construction management firm. Olivia Hodson is Mary O'Connell, Kate and Tom's first child, now Kate's closest friend and confidant. Hailey Andrews is Maureen O'Connell, their second child, a rebellious high school senior. Kylie Acuña is Margaret O'Connell, their youngest, an ambitious high school sophomore. Fred Harlow is Father Michael Brennan, the parish priest and a frequent guest in the O'Connell home. And Jill Drexler is our narrator. At this point, I'd like to turn things over to Ted Leib, Artistic Director of the Oceanside Theater Company.
Thank you, Casey, and hello, everyone. Welcome to our online presentation of Casey Tibbitts' new play, Quiet Cross. This is co-produced by Oceanside Theater Company and Scripps Ranch Theater. As many of you know, SRT has partnered with OTC before on productions of Outside Mullinger, Dancing Lessons, and just last fall, Foxfire. Of course, tonight is something new entirely as we're doing a live online presentation of this piece via Zoom. Obviously, what we're experiencing in the world right now, it's strange and scary and challenging for everyone, and certainly the theater community. But we're hopeful that events like this reading will help us to bridge the gap that social distancing has created between us as performers and you as an audience, at least for a couple of hours. I thank you for being with us tonight, and I encourage you to please visit our website, as Casey said, oceansidetheater.org, and consider donating to help us continue to present events such as this, and to be ready when we can open our doors once again. And now I'd like to hand it off to Jill Drexler, the Artistic Director at Scripps Ranch Theater and our narrator for this evening. Jill?
Thank you, and thank you all for joining us. And also thank you to our playwright, Casey Tibbitts, and all our wonderful actors for giving their time toward this project. We're very excited about new work, and we're very excited about this new way of presenting theater. So now, please enjoy Quiet Cross. Scene 1. Friday evening in the O'Connell home, a modest middle-class residence in a Boston suburb. The kitchen has a dining table with 5 chairs, and the living room has a sofa, love seat, coffee table, and end table. A coat rack stands next to the front door, and a credenza on the back wall displays several framed photos. Decorative items highlight the family's proud Irish heritage and strong Catholic faith, including a crucifix above the credenza. Kate bustles about the kitchen preparing dinner. Mary leans against the kitchen counter. It is raining outside.
This had better work, Mary. I don't have a plan B. It's a new recipe I got from a magazine.
You know it'll be great, Mom. It always is. No one ever complains about your cooking.
Salmon's your dad's favorite, but I don't know that many ways to make it. I need to be creative during Lent. Oh, it's still raining. He won't be in a good mood when he gets home. Maggie, please stop what you're doing and come set the table.
I'm busy doing homework.
I'm busy too. Now get in here and help out.
Margaret enters from her bedroom wearing a Notre Dame sweatshirt.
Go ahead and set them all. I never know how many places we'll need.
I have a big test next week, and please don't call me Maggie. It's an old lady name and I hate it.
It's a lovely name.
It's traditional, and you should take pride in it. You were named after your grandmother.
And she's an old lady. It's bad enough I'm Margaret. Let's not make it worse.
Meg is pretty.
Would you prefer Meg or maybe Peg?
Oh, Jesus, no.
How many times have I told you not to take the Lord's name in vain? You know I don't like it, and I know you know better. It's bad enough I have to hear it from your father and sister. I do not want to hear it from you too.
I don't think she meant any harm.
Maureen enters from her bedroom dressed modestly and heads toward the front door. She has a large bag over her shoulder.
I'm leaving. Don't wait up for me.
Where are you off to, Maureen?
The game, Mom. I told you about it.
Do you want to eat with us first?
We're getting something on the way.
Remember, it's Lent, no meat.
Good luck with that. I'm guessing burgers.
Don't worry. We're getting fish and chips. Bye.
Maureen exits.
A healthy Lenten alternative.
I pick my battles.
Why couldn't you name me something like Madison or Kayla or maybe Mackenzie?
Are we still on this subject?
All the popular girls have cool names.
Or are the names cool because the girls are popular?
Someday, those girls will be grandmothers. Whoever heard of a grandmother named Mackenzie? What's fashionable today will be unfashionable tomorrow. A classic name like Margaret will always be in style. Now, tell me about your test.
It's my AP European History midterm. This chapter's on the colonial expansion, and I need to keep my grade up. I'm at a 94 now.
You've never gotten a B in your life. Give yourself a break. It's Friday night. Don't you want to go out with your friends? When I was your age, I was never home on a Friday night.
Sometimes even Saturday morning.
We're not really a wild group, Mom. Maureen's got that covered.
Yes, she does, and then some.
I'm not saying go out and be wild. I'm just suggesting you have some fun from time to time.
The front door opens and closes, and Tom enters the room. He's dressed in casual work attire and a raincoat, and is carrying a briefcase and umbrella.
Smells good, Kate. What's for dinner?
Salmon, how was the job site?
Muddy. This weather's hurting all the construction projects in town, not just mine. We'll have to work a lot of weekends to catch up, which will make me real popular with the guys.
And their wives.
We were just talking about Margaret's test next week. She's been studying hard, and I was suggesting she go out with her friends tonight.
Your mom's right. Go out and have a good time.
You're overestimating my social life. A big night out for my friends usually means playing Scrabble at Priyanka's house.
Even if it's just that, it's good to take a break. You can't push hard all the time. You're only a sophomore. College is still a ways away.
Are you kidding? I have to push hard all the time if I'm going to get into a school like Harvard or Yale.
I thought you wanted to go to Notre Dame.
That's my fallback.
What about Providence?
Providence is a great school. It's where I met your mom.
Seriously? Providence? Listen, I have to go study.
Margaret exits toward the bedrooms.
Isn't this every parent's dream? Their daughter wants to stay in and study on a Friday night so she can get into an Ivy?
When I was her age, I was out late doing things I'd rather not remember. You think every generation gets progressively more irresponsible, but maybe that's not true.
For us, it's just partially true.
Speaking of progressive irresponsibility, is Maureen eating with us tonight?
They're getting fish and chips before the game. Hard to believe this is probably the last year of high school sports.
Don't give up on Maggie. Does the robotics team count?
Maybe. Or the right boy comes along and suddenly she'll be interested in all sorts of new things. That's what happened to me. I thought a free throw was a blanket giveaway, but then you came along and swept me off my feet.
Kate's cell phone rings.
Father Mike, right on cue.
Mary exits to the bedrooms.
Good evening, Father Brennan. Yeah, we're doing fine, thank you. We're having salmon. Of course, you'd be welcome to join us. We'll be eating soon. Rice pilaf and broccoli, maybe some ice cream. Yeah, probably Chardonnay. I don't know. Kendall Jackson. Of course, Father. Just let us know. Bye.
Father Mike's joining us.
He needs to call around. The Altabellis usually have pasta on Fridays.
Oh, it's tough to compete with the Italians on food. By the way, I've been thinking,
Oh, that's never a good sign.
our anniversary's coming up. We should head to the Cape for a quiet weekend, just the two of us.
Great idea. But it sounds expensive. College costs are right around the corner.
It doesn't have to be. You remember Shannon Foley, who used to work at the office? She's now with Marriott. Says she can get us a good deal.
You're still in touch with Shannon?
I see her at lunch or happy hour every now and then. Anyway, what do you think?
Well, what about Maureen? Are we ready to leave her on her own?
I think we need to try it. She's 18, for Christ's sake. How are we going to trust her at college if we can't trust her here for a weekend?
Maybe she should stay local for college.
And live with us?
I'm just not sure she's mature enough to make good choices on her own.
Look, she's going to make mistakes. She'll learn from them.
She has a bright future ahead of her, but I don't want her to mess everything up by learning from her mistakes. I want to help guide her and keep her out of trouble.
There's a fine line between guidance and interference.
We already know she drinks. What if she's tried drugs, or what if she started having sex?
I'm pretty sure we'd know if she was taking drugs, and she's never even had a boyfriend.
Well, there are a lot of cool boys in her group. Sometimes I worry she'd do anything to win their approval.
I'm not ready to think about that at all. Christ, she's just a kid.
She's an adult. We have to be realistic.
Kate's cell phone rings again. She looks at the caller ID and answers.
Hello, Father. What did you decide? Oh, wonderful. We'll see you soon.
Margaret and Mary return.
Is dinner ready?
Just about. Father Brennan will be joining us.
Oh, cool. We must be having something good.
Or the Altabellis are having something bad.
It's Lent, so we're having salmon, rice, and broccoli.
Friday fish. Surprised that won him over. Did you tell him about the broccoli?
Yes, but she also mentioned ice cream and wine.
The doorbell rings.
I guess he called from the front porch.
Margaret opens the door for Father Mike.
Hello, Father Mike.
Good evening, Miss Maggie O'Connell. My goodness, but you're growing like a weed. What are your parents feeding you?
You were here just a few nights ago, Father. I haven't grown since then.
And she's going by Margaret these days, Father. She's decided Maggie is an old lady's name.
No, it's not at all. My own dear mother was named Maggie.
I rest my case.
I still think Meg is pretty.
So glad you could join us tonight, Father. We know you often spend Fridays with the Altabellis.
They've taken the notion of Lenten fasting a little more seriously than I care to. So it's you folks who hit bingo tonight.
You're always welcome. It's serve yourself, but we'll do a quick blessing before we start.
All five stand at the table and make the sign of the cross.
Bless us, O
Lord,
Lord,
and these thy gifts.
gifts.
Scene 2, late Friday night. Kate and Tom are on the couch sipping wine.
I've been thinking about what you said earlier about our anniversary.
Well, if you're really worried about the girls, I'll ask my sister to keep tabs on them. She'll keep them in line.
Doesn't it frustrate you that our 18-year-old daughter might need a babysitter?
I'm not that worried about her. I think you're just having a little trouble letting go.
I'll let go when I can trust her.
She wants independence, but not responsibility. I get that. But she'd be fine for a weekend.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder if I failed her. I was always a huge disappointment to my mother.
Your mother wanted you to be a nun, for Christ's sake. Nothing else was going to make her happy.
I've made so many mistakes in my own life. Where's my moral authority?
That's ridiculous. I can't even imagine where I'd be without you. Look at what we've built together.
The front door opens and Maureen begins to tiptoe across the room. She's wearing a short skirt and tight sweater and has a bag over her shoulder. She sees her parents and stops.
Hi, Mo.
Oh, hi guys. I was expecting you to be asleep.
You mean you were hoping we'd be asleep?
That's not what you were wearing when you left the house.
I changed at Mackenzie's.
I'm sorry you didn't have anything that fit.
What time did the game end?
Some of us went into town to hang out. Nothing special.
For 3 hours? Who and where? Was there any drinking?
You know, the regular crowd. Madison, Kayla, Mackenzie. We were at a park just hanging out. And I'm not drunk if that's what you're worried about.
Not drunk is different from no drinking. Any boys in the group? Like Josh Quinn?
Jesus, Mommy, yes, there were boys there, including Josh.
Do not speak to me like that. And do not take the Lord's name in vain. I called your cell twice and got voicemail both times. If you're going to have a phone that we pay for, then you're going to have to answer when we call. Do you understand that?
Whatever.
Do not walk away when I'm speaking to you.
Can I just go to bed?
Your father and I were just talking about whether or not you have the maturity to go off to college next year and make decisions on your own. I'm starting to think the answer is no. And while we're on the topic, what's the latest on the college applications?
You really want to talk about this now?
Maybe she's right. Arguments at this hour rarely turn out well.
No, let's talk about this. What's your plan, Maureen?
Well, if you really have to know right this minute, I'm not sure college is right for me.
Working fast food is a better option.
Let's slow down, Kate. Maureen, this is a big decision that, frankly, you're not in the best position to make. We need to think this through.
Why do we need to think this through? It's my life. Why are you always trying to control it? My God, I'm a C student. What college am I going to get into?
Oh, we wonder that too. So, what's a plan?
I just know that more school is not what I want to do. I mean, why should I? Look at you, Mom. You got a degree, but never use it. So what's the point?
Oh, Maureen, is that really what you think of me?
Like I said, arguments at this hour rarely turn out well.
Kate, stung, nods and exits. Tom turns to Maureen.
Mo, that was an awful thing to say. Don't ever disrespect your mother like that again.
I'm sorry, Daddy, but it just really makes me mad when she tries to control my life. I need her to want what's best for me, not to try to fit me into the life she'd like me to have.
Mom's not trying to control your life. She just knows that some decisions can be really short-sighted, and skipping college is one of them.
I'm not really fired up about spending 4 more years in school. I want to earn money and get my own place. Didn't you want to be on your own when you were my age?
I was thinking long-term. I knew that college was my best option for building the life I wanted, the life we have now. Kids your age think they have it all figured out, but when you approach middle age, you'll look back and realize that 18 is still incredibly young.
Oh, Daddy, you're way past middle age.
My point is that your entire life is ahead of you. And your mom and I just want to give you the girls every opportunity to make the best of it. Can you understand that?
I'll think about it, but I'm still not sure school is the right path for me. You don't need a degree to do what Mom does.
I remember when we were first married, we lived in a tiny apartment in Providence we could barely afford. It had 1 bedroom, a lousy heater, and no air conditioning.
That must have totally sucked.
No, actually it didn't, because it was our home, our first home. And that's a very special thing. Back then, your mom was working long hours as a customer service rep, listening to people complain all day. I was working hard too and studying for my license. We had no money, but we were together and had dreams of a great future.
I'll bet you're glad those days are over.
No, not really. They were some of the happiest days of my life.
But still, you don't need a degree to work in customer service.
A few months later, your mom was promoted to supervisor, then to manager of the department. Without a degree, those things probably wouldn't have happened. So maybe this week we take a look at those college applications?
I haven't even started them, Daddy.
Why not?
I'm scared to. What if I get rejected by everyone?
What are you talking about?
What if no one wants me? Everyone at school is always telling me how smart Maggie is. They say she got all the brains, and they laugh when I talk about college.
Don't listen to them. They don't know anything about college or how important it is. We just need to find the right school for you.
I couldn't handle not getting in. Maggie would laugh in my face. I don't even want to try.
It's not as scary as it seems. I'll help you fill them out. Going to bed. Don't stay up too late.
Thanks, Dad. I won't.
Tom gathers the wine glasses while Maureen resumes texting. Tom finishes both glasses and puts them in the kitchen sink, then exits. Time passes. Kate enters from the bedrooms and sits next to Maureen.
Hi, Mom. Listen, about earlier.
Let's talk about that later. Right now, I've got something else on my mind. I need to know that you're being smart.
What do you mean?
I need to know if you're doing anything that might get you into trouble, like drinking too much, taking drugs, sex.
Mom,
I'm serious. Getting into those kind of things can ruin your future real fast.
I'm being careful. I'm not as much of an idiot as everyone thinks.
Being careful is not really the answer I'm looking for, and I don't think you're an idiot.
You know, I drink with my friends every now and then. All the kids do. But I'm careful and I never have too much.
What about the other stuff? Anyone pressuring you to try drugs or have sex?
No, and I could handle them if they did. I know what I'm doing.
Those situations, they're not as easy to handle as you think. I'm sorry, but I just don't trust your friends. A lot of them are going in the wrong direction, and I don't want them taking you with them.
Is this about college? Just because I'm not sure I want to go to college, suddenly I'm shooting up and screwing around?
That's not what I said.
Then what is it? Why would you possibly worry about that stuff?
Because you're 18, and you're in a hurry to be grown up, and you want to fit in.
I do fit in. What makes you think I don't?
Okay, maybe you're right. Just promise me you'll come to me if anything gets out of hand. I gotta tidy up. You can help me, or you can go do that in your room.
Good night, Mom.
Kate hugs her, then Maureen exits toward the bedrooms. Kate goes to the kitchen where she begins to tidy up. After a few moments, she turns and walks toward the crucifix, then drops to her knees and makes the sign of the cross.
Oh my God. I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins because of thy just punishments. God, I don't know what to do. How did I go so wrong? I've always tried to be what I thought you wanted me to be, but it seems like I've failed over and over again.
Tom appears at the door to the bedrooms and stops to listen. Kate, not seeing him, rises and picks up a photo from the credenza.
I miss you, Mom. I wish you were still here so we could talk and maybe figure out what went wrong between us. I tried so hard to get close to you, but you just couldn't let me in. Don't let me make the same mistake with my own daughter. How do I help her find the right path without pushing her away?
I've always thought guilt is way overrated.
How much did you hear?
Enough. Your mother was wrong for not letting you be you. We both know Mo isn't a great student. Maybe we want her to go to college for our own reasons.
We want her to have opportunities.
Maybe. Maybe we also want people to think we're great parents because we've got a kid in college.
Sometimes I can't help but feel like God's punishing me for some of the things I've done.
You mean vengeful Old Testament God? Fire and brimstone, locusts, plagues, boils? Focus on the one Jesus told us about, the one who's all loving and all forgiving.
That's not always easy for me.
I understand. Listen, it's late and I got an early morning.
What time are you working?
7. We got to push hard the next few months and hope there's no more rain. I sure miss playing golf on Saturdays.
We'll be empty nesters in a few years. Then you can play all the golf you want.
Scene 3, Saturday morning. Maureen is at the dining table, texting her. Her backpack is on the floor next to her. The coffee pot is in the kitchen. It's full. Rain can be heard outside. Margaret enters from the bedrooms. She sits at the table with Maureen, who ignores her.
So, what's going on?
Leave me alone.
No, I'm serious. What's going on?
What are you talking about?
Kayla just posted something about you on Instagram.
What? What the hell did she say?
No details, just that you have some really big news.
God damn it, I'm going to kill her.
So seriously, what is it? What are you gonna do?
It's none of your business.
My God, it's big. Are you dropping out of school? Running away with Josh?
Seriously, just leave me alone.
Did you get a DUI or something? Whatever it is, it sounds like Mom and Dad are not gonna like it. Or have you already told them? Is that what all the noise was about last night?
You don't know anything.
Then tell me, maybe I can help you. I know how to handle them a lot better than you do.
Maureen sullenly ignores her and continues texting. Kate enters, goes to the kitchen and pours some coffee. Mary enters.
Good morning, ladies. What's everyone up to today?
Maureen and I were just talking about something I saw on Instagram.
Shut up.
No? What was it?
Be about Maureen. That can't be good.
Nothing major, just some school stuff.
I'm going to Mackenzie's.
You guys studying?
Shopping?
Yes, we will be studying. We've got a big test Monday.
Good. I'm glad you're taking it seriously. Only 2 months until graduation.
Maureen exits.
I'll be at Priyanka's with my AP History study group. See you all tonight.
Kate stands in the kitchen looking thoughtful as Margaret exits.
What's up, Mom? You seem perplexed.
I think we both need to take it easy on Maureen. She's struggling and needs our support.
She does seem more stressed than usual.
I think she's really nervous about graduating and facing whatever's next. I got on her last night, maybe a little too much. I need to watch it too.
Was anything bugging you?
Oh, it's probably nothing. Your dad has to go into work early today, but I called him twice and he didn't answer. Then I called the site supervisor and he said they haven't seen him.
I'm sure he's just really busy.
Normally I wouldn't worry about it, but last weekend the same kind of thing happened. In fact, it's been happening a lot lately.
Don't jump to conclusions, Mom.
What if he's having an affair?
There you go. What did I just say? Besides, it's Saturday morning. Worry about that when he's gone on a Saturday night.
We've been married a long time. He wouldn't be the first husband to get bored. He's surrounded by young women at the office, and he goes to happy hours with bimbos like Shannon Foley. It's not impossible.
He's not having an affair. You're being ridiculous.
He gets a lot of phone calls from one of the women at his office, Tiffany.
Mom, she's half his age.
I know. That's what scares me.
He works with her mom. I'm sure they talk a lot.
Well, then what if it's about money? He handles all our finances. What if something's wrong? I wouldn't even know it until it was too late.
You think he's blowing your savings at Suffolk Downs? Come on, Mom. You know that's not it.
Then what is it? Where is he?
Sometimes your imagination is your worst enemy. Just ask him. I'm sure it's nothing. So you really don't know where your money is? That's pretty lame, Mom. This isn't 1950.
I wouldn't even know how to pay the bills. I think it's all done online these days, but he handles everything.
Okay, you need to know where all your accounts are and how to get to them. Savings, retirement, college, his partnership, everything. Don't let Dad make decisions on his own. Be a part of the process. Take ownership. Promise me you'll find out.
You're right. I will.
Did I hear Maureen say she might skip college?
I don't know if she's serious. Maybe she'll just work for a while and then go back to school.
Well, you're dreaming. Once she quits and gets a job, that's it.
That's why I don't want her to take time off. At least go to community college, keep the momentum going. If she can push herself through just even 2 years, she'll be a lot better off.
She's never pushed herself through anything. I don't think you're being realistic.
I'm not giving up. I won't let her quit on herself without a fight.
Well, at least you can fall back on Maggie if Maureen ends up painting nails for a living.
Maggie's a different worry. I wish she'd just relax and enjoy being a girl.
You're probably the only mother in the world saying that.
I want her to be well-rounded. And what if she gets into some really expensive school and we can't afford it? They might give her some aid, but what if we can't pay the difference?
So you want her to not do well in school?
Of course not, but I need her to have realistic expectations. What if she gets into Harvard, but we have to send her to UMass? She'd be devastated.
So one daughter isn't shooting high enough and the other's shooting too high.
I guess you could put it that way.
The doorbell rings. Kate opens the door.
Good morning, Father Brennan.
Good morning. I hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. The coffee's made. Would you like some toast?
Oh, no, thank you. you've been feeding me enough lately. I wanted to thank you again for the lovely meal last night. But first, do you mind if I use the little boy's room?
You know where it is.
I'll leave you two alone, but let's talk again soon.
Okay, sweetheart.
Mary exits. Kate goes to the kitchen to pour Father Mike's coffee, then sits at the table with both cups. Father Mike returns and sits with her.
So, Father, to what do I owe this honor? Just a social call or church business?
Oh, a little bit of both. Frankly, Kate, I'm a little worried about you. You came to confession last Sunday.
That shouldn't worry you. I go to confession every Sunday.
Actually, that's exactly what worries me. Every Sunday you come in and confess the same mundane sins.
Would you like me to spice things up?
But that would certainly liven up my day, but no. I'm simply saying it might be good for you to take it easy on yourself.
You sound like Tom.
Beyond that, Kate, I also worry that there's more to it. I don't know what it is, but there always seems to be a hesitation. And I wonder if there's something else that's really troubling you.
Do you have regrets, Father?
Oh, of course I do, Kate. Everyone has regrets. I'm sure even Tom Brady has regrets, though I can't imagine what they might be.
Do you ever regret becoming a priest?
No, but I regret I haven't been able to make a bigger difference. The faith is faltering, Kate. There's no other way to put it. Fewer and fewer people are religious these days, and it seems there's little I can do to stem the flow.
Has the life been what you expected? I think about it a lot. What might have been if I followed my mother's wishes.
It's not an easy life, though not for the reasons you expect. Celibacy gets all the headlines, but in the end, what really makes it difficult is the loneliness. You don't think much about it early on, but as you get older, you become to really miss the closeness and intimacy of a special relationship.
I can understand that.
A lot of seminarians quit because of the prospect of coming home every night for the rest of their lives to an empty apartment and a can of soup. It can be a very bleak existence if you allow it to be. It sounds to me like you have regrets. Can you tell me about them?
Some of them, but not all.
Now we're getting somewhere.
You're very different from the priests I knew growing up.
Oh, I should hope so. They're the same where I lived. Most were judgmental and self-righteous.
Then why did you even want to become one?
Well, because I believed they could and should be different. It seemed to me they were preaching one thing and practicing another.
You sound like Maureen.
People have one of two reactions when faced with a crisis with their faith. They either turn away so they don't have to deal with it, or they choose to dive in, hoping they can overcome it. I chose the latter.
There's a third reaction.
And that is?
To dive in because you're afraid to turn away.
Is that what you've done? Is that why you're a pillar of our community but can't speak a word of your regrets?
Maybe so.
Kate, do you believe in forgiveness? I mean, really believe. I'm not talking about the, say, 10 Hail Marys and sin no more. I mean the absolute power of forgiveness as granted by God.
Yes. But I believe some things can't be forgiven.
That is not our belief. Our faith teaches us that God will forgive any sin, as long as the sinner is truly repentant. And by God, if there's one thing I know with absolute certainty, is that you are repentant. Do you want forgiveness, Kate?
Oh, I do, Father. More than anything.
Then you must find the strength to ask for it.
The front door opens and Margaret enters.
Hi, Father Mike. What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm enjoying a little chat with your mother.
Father Mike, can I ask you a personal question?
Of course, though I reserve the right not to answer.
Are you gay?
Margaret!
Well, I wasn't expecting that. Oh, let me ask you a question in return. Would it matter?
I don't know. I was just wondering.
I'll give you the answer that you might not like it, but I believe it's the right one. I won't tell you, because it really shouldn't make a difference. Being gay or straight does not make you a better or worse priest, just as it doesn't make someone a better or worse policeman. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's that time. And Kate, please come to talk to me when you're ready. We have much to discuss.
Scene 4, Sunday morning. The rooms are empty. There's a pot of coffee in the kitchen. It's raining outside. Tom enters dressed for church. He goes into the kitchen and pours a cup of coffee, then crosses to the front door and gets the newspaper. He sits at the dining table and begins to read. Maureen enters in her pajamas.
Why do we still get a newspaper? It's so wasteful.
I still like reading the Sunday paper. We're digital the rest of the week.
That's totally lame.
I never asked. Did we win the game Friday?
I have no idea.
Who'd we play?
No clue.
Do you know what sport it was?
Seriously?
You want to work on college applications later today?
Not really.
Kate and Margaret enter dressed for church. Margaret has a textbook.
Good morning, ladies. Maureen and I were just bonding.
Maureen, we leave for church in an hour. You need to get dressed.
What are we doing for dinner tonight, Mom?
Eggplant parmesan.
Oh my God, that sounds so disgusting.
Maureen exits quickly to the bedrooms.
More European history, Margaret? When's the test?
Wednesday. My study group's meeting later today.
Margaret, what do you think of me?
What do you mean? Like, as a mom?
No, as a person. Do you take me seriously when I talk about things like work and education?
Of course I do. You know a lot of stuff.
Do you know what I got my degree in?
No, not really.
How about your dad's degree?
Engineering. Didn't he go to Providence and Columbia?
That's right, the 3-2 program. First 3 years at Providence, the last 2 at Columbia.
How'd you guys meet each other?
Oh, it was at a basketball game, sophomore year. My roommate dragged me along, and we had seats in the student section next to Dad and his friends.
Your mom thought halftime was called intermission.
I was totally confused, and he started explaining everything to me. Pretty soon, I knew he was a guy I'd like to get to know better.
Was it tough when he left for Columbia?
Yes, very. We'd been dating 2 years, and I thought we'd end up together, but there were no guarantees. It was a long time to be separated, and New York was a world away. Going through my senior year without him was very lonely.
So why are you asking all of this?
Something Maureen said got me thinking.
I wouldn't worry too much about what Maureen says. None of it's thought out in advance.
Tom and Margaret continue reading, and Kate works in the kitchen. Maureen returns, still in her pajamas, along with Mary, who's dressed for church.
Did you have anything to drink last night, Maureen?
No, I just hung out at Kayla's. We didn't do anything. I just feel like I'm going to throw up. Maybe I have the flu or something.
Oh, that's lovely.
You gross, don't come over here.
You'll feel better after a shower. Now, please, go get ready.
I don't want to go to church. It's so boring. I'd rather sleep.
Do not tell me that. It's the most important hour of the week.
But it's always the same, and I really don't want to listen to some 100-year-old man tell me how I should live my life.
Father Mike is not a day over 85.
Maureen, you must go to church. To not go is a mortal sin.
I'm not sure that's very convincing.
I'm pretty sure it's just a venal sin. Though I know some number of venal sins can add up to be a mortal sin. I'm not sure what the conversion rate is these days.
Thomas O'Connell, do not make fun of this.
Look, if she's not feeling well, then maybe she shouldn't go. We don't want her to infect the entire parish.
Mortal sin, venal sin, it's all so stupid. Where in the Bible does it classify sins? All Jesus ever talked about was love and forgiveness. If I focus on those things, I'll be fine.
I've noticed how important those are to you.
Mass is the one thing we do every week as a family. Is it really too much to ask that you give up 1 hour for God?
And the church's policies are totally Stone Age. Why shouldn't women be priests? Why should priests be allowed to get married? Every year, Father Mike moans about the shortage of priests. Well, hello.
I don't think it's up to him.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Priests are celibate men because they follow Jesus' example.
Why would anyone in their right mind choose a celibate life?
How would you know anything about that?
Father Mike probably became a priest because there were no other jobs in Ireland. Most of the priests we see these days are from depressed countries.
Listen, Mom, I'm not saying I don't believe in God or even Jesus. I'm just not sure about the church.
Do any of you think Father Mike is gay?
Again? I couldn't believe you asked him that yesterday. What is this sudden interest?
You asked him if he's gay? What did he say?
He didn't really give me an answer, but why not? A lot of priests are probably gay.
Of course he's not gay. He's
What, too old? You think gay men don't get old, or that old men can't be gay?
No, of course not.
So you think he's asexual?
No, that's not what I mean at all. He's a man of God. He has his mind on more important things than sex.
Well, he can be gay and a man of God, can't he?
That's $1 million question. The church has always taken a pretty hard line on that one.
Who knows? Jesus might have even been gay.
Oh, now that's too much. How can you say such a thing?
It's not impossible or even improbable. I mean, do you know how rare it was for a 30-year-old Jewish man to be single in first century Judea?
And he hung out with 12 other guys.
That is enough. Seriously, all of you. I mean, why would a gay man even want to be a priest when the church has always been so hostile to them?
It's a great way to hide it.
What are you talking about?
Say you've got this super Catholic mom who expects you to get married. The priesthood kills 2 birds with 1 stone. You don't have to come out or stay mysteriously single or get into a loveless marriage, and your mom worships you because you're a priest. Problem solved.
Or maybe some gay people feel really guilty and they think being a priest or a nun is a way to make up for it.
Oh, nuns too?
Sure, why not?
I really hope none of this is being recorded.
I wonder what Jesus was like when he was my age. I mean, the Bible totally skips over that part. Did he tell dirty jokes or look at nudie magazines?
Pretty sure they were nudie scrolls back then.
No, he did not.
I wonder if he drank when he was underage.
He could have made his own wine. How cool would that be?
I can't believe we're on this subject. We're talking about the Lord here.
It's just that a lot of the stuff the church teaches is really tough to believe. I mean, Mary gets impregnated by God. Jesus rises from the dead. I trust in science, Mom.
Without those things, there is no Christianity. Without those, Jesus is just a man, and everything we believe is for nothing.
Maybe Jesus was just a man. Maybe even a gay man.
Look, even if you aren't sure about the spiritual stuff, keep in mind the good things the church does. Schools, hospitals, homeless shelters, orphanages, more than anyone else. So, Maureen, come to church with us. Your mom's right. Time as a family is important.
Okay, but afterward I'm going to the mall with Kayla and Mackenzie.
Glad you're feeling better.
I guess that flu must not be too serious after all.
I'll be at Priyanka's with my study group.
And I'll be at the job site checking the water levels.
Maureen, go get changed. And after church, make sure you all turn on your phones.
Scene 5, Sunday evening. The rooms are empty. A grocery list and some coupons are on the refrigerator door. It's raining outside. Kate enters and goes to the table where she gathers the newspapers and puts them in recycling. She begins to tidy up the kitchen. Tom enters from the front door, wearing a raincoat and carrying an umbrella.
Hey, sweetheart. How's the site?
It's a quagmire. We're not getting anywhere.
The news this morning says this has been the wettest winter in years.
Just our luck. We can handle the snow, but the rain kills us.
I wanted to talk to you about this morning. I was pretty shocked by the wild ideas our daughters have, and you weren't any help.
I thought they did a good job. They were pretty heady questions.
But why are they asking them? They go to church every week and go to a Catholic school. They should know the answers.
Kate, those questions don't really have answers. It's perfectly reasonable to question what we're taught.
And what's up with Maggie? She suddenly seems very interested in homosexuality.
I'm guessing it's a hot topic at school. Did she really ask Father Mike if he's gay?
Flat out, like she was asking him if he's left-handed. I was mortified. She might be gay, do you?
I hadn't really thought about it, but I guess it's possible. She's never shown any interest in boys.
I wouldn't know how to handle something like that.
If she's gay, she's gay. Not what we pictured, but I'd be glad she felt okay telling us.
I also feel like you're always undermining me when we talk about religion, especially when you belittle things.
I understand. And I'll try not to poke fun. I know this is serious stuff, but I'm proud of them for asking logical questions.
Still, it feels disrespectful to hear them talk that way. I never would have done that, especially at home.
Me either. But maybe that's a good thing. It means they feel comfortable here.
I always expected this home to be reverent. I knew Maureen might be a problem, but not Margaret. I even used to think she'd make a good nun.
Now you sound like your mother. If I ever thought Maggie was considering a religious career, I'd tell her to become an Episcopalian.
Tom.
Serious. I wouldn't want my daughter to choose any life where she's permanently in a supporting role. If she was an Episcopalian, she could get married and be a priest. She could even be openly gay.
By the way, I tried calling you several times this week, but you haven't picked up. I leave messages, but you don't call back. I even talked to the superintendent, but he never knows where you are.
It's been real busy. I usually have my ringer off. I'll do a better job of calling back.
Tom starts to wash the dishes.
Next time you pay the bills, can I sit with you? I want to make sure I know how all that stuff works. And maybe we can review our accounts. I need to know where everything is.
Sure, if you really think it's necessary. Where's all this coming from? Don't you trust me?
I trust you, but I don't want to be in the dark. You never know what the future holds.
That sounds a little ominous. But I guess it's a good idea. I'm not sure how organized it is.
You don't sound too excited.
Well, it's just a lot of stuff, and I know how busy we both are. A lot of our money is tied up with the firm. I'm not sure how much detail I have to go over. It cost us a lot when I made partner.
I know, but that was an investment in our future. I mainly want to know about our personal stuff. Bank accounts, retirement, college. I need to know where everything is.
Okay. I have an Excel file with all that. I'll try to bring it up to date.
Margaret enters from her bedroom reading a textbook.
Hey, how come I'm doing dishes while you're reading a book?
It's a textbook, Dad. Believe me, I'd rather be doing the dishes.
Margaret, is there anything going on in your life that you'd like to tell us about?
Like what?
I don't know. Any romantic interests at school?
Who has time for that? Right now I'm just focused on my classes, but I'll be sure to keep you in the loop.
Tom finishes the dishes as Kate goes to the refrigerator, where she removes the shopping list and coupons.
Can you two run to the grocery store? I need some things for lunches this week.
Now? But the game's on soon. It's Celtic Sixers.
It'll be quick and you can DVR it.
Why do I have to go?
You need a break. And I don't trust your dad. He'll buy name brands and won't use the coupons, and he'll buy stuff we don't want and don't need.
I'll want it.
We're also out of beer.
I'll get my coat.
Tom retrieves his coat and umbrella and exits with Margaret. Kate continues to tidy up the kitchen. She sees the list and coupons still on the table.
Tom?
Maureen enters from her bedroom.
Are they gone?
Just a quick trip to the store, where they won't know what to buy.
Can I talk to you?
Of course, sweetheart. What's up?
I think I might be in trouble.
What kind of trouble?
I don't want you to freak out.
Tell me.
It might be nothing. Or I might be pregnant.
Oh, dear God, no. Why do you think that?
I took a test over at Kayla's. Her sister had one.
And it was positive? Are you sure?
Yes.
Mary appears from the bedroom and listens at the doorway.
Oh, Maureen, how could you let this happen? Didn't you tell me you could handle these situations?
I thought I could, but it all happened so fast.
Oh, who's the father? Does he know?
Not yet. It's Josh.
God damn it. I knew I didn't trust that kid. How long has this been going on?
We only did it once, I swear.
When are you going to tell him?
Probably tomorrow, but I wanted to talk to you first. You know, woman to woman.
Woman to woman. You are not a woman yet. You are a girl.
Well, I am an adult.
Only from the neck down. You will be a woman when you are self-sufficient. You can't even do your own laundry.
Mom!
We have to tell your father, and you have to tell Josh right away. Maybe we should all go see him tonight.
No, God, that would be awful. I can't face him or his parents right now.
Oh, it's a little late to start feeling ashamed.
I don't want them to hate me. What if we end up getting married?
Oh, is that how you see this playing out? You and Josh live happily ever after? Oh, please tell me you didn't do this on purpose.
Mom, how could you think that? This is the last thing I want right now.
Did you know about this when you said you might not go to college?
No. Well, maybe. I've been getting worried. I've been so sick in the mornings, and it's been...
Oh, Maureen, you barely know this boy.
I know him better than you think. He's a great guy, and I know he's planning on going to UMass next year. Maybe if we get married, I can move to Dorchester with him.
If he suddenly has a wife and child on his hands, his plans for UMass may have to change. How is he going to support a family and go to school at the same time?
Tom enters from the front door. Mary exits to the bedroom.
Forgot the list.
The store can wait.
What's going on, ladies?
Do you want to tell him, or should I?
Okay, Dad, but promise you won't lose it.
All I can promise is that I won't kill you.
You might want to hold off on that.
Let me guess. Fender bender? Bombed a midterm?
You wish.
Got arrested? Became a Knicks fan?
I'm so sorry, Daddy.
Just please don't tell me you're pregnant.
Act 2, Scene 1, Monday morning. Kate is in the kitchen wearing a robe. The coffee pot is full. Maureen enters with her backpack, dressed in a Catholic school uniform.
Hi, sweetie. How you feeling?
Okay, I guess.
So, what's the plan?
I'm going to talk to Josh after school.
You sure you don't want us to go there with you? We can go over to his house tonight.
No, I need to do this by myself.
Margaret enters, also in a school uniform and carrying a backpack. Maureen sits down at the table.
Morning, Maggie.
That makes me sound so old.
Listen, you two, big day ahead. I need to go get ready. Call me if you need anything.
Kate exits to the bedrooms as Margaret pulls out her cell phone and reads the screen.
Oh my God. You're pregnant.
What? How do you know that?
Kayla just posted it on Instagram.
I'm going to kill her.
Is that what last night was all about? I can't believe Dad didn't kill you.
Leave me alone. I have enough problems without you getting on my case.
Why didn't you tell me? I could have helped.
What could have you done? My God, it's bad enough as it was.
So who's the dad? Josh? How'd you let this happen?
Oh, like you're such a perfect little princess.
Well, last I checked, I wasn't pregnant.
You can be such a little bitch sometimes. You think you're so smart, but I hear stories about you and Jordan Malone making out behind the gym. Huh, how stupid is that?
What are you talking about?
Oh, I know. You're in love and a prom invitation is right around the corner. Well, don't hold your breath. You're not the only one spending time behind the gym with Jordan.
What? Why didn't you tell me?
Why should I? Do you have any idea what it's like to have you as a little sister? You with your perfect grades and Ivy League plans, all while I'm working my ass off to get C's? You never get into trouble. I've been waiting for you to screw up. waiting for you to be the disappointment. Why would I warn you?
Is that the only way you think you'll look good? By making me look bad? We're sisters. We're supposed to help each other out. And when were you going to tell me?
What's going on here? Well, whatever it is, you two need to get going. And take your jackets, it's supposed to rain. Listen, Maureen.
It's okay, Mom. I know what I need to do today.
Margaret and Maureen get their jackets and backpacks and exit. Kate starts tidying up, then pours some coffee and sits at the kitchen table. Mary enters from the bedroom.
Morning, sweetie. You like some coffee?
No thanks, Mom. I'm good. I heard what happened last night. How are you feeling?
Stunned, angry, disappointed. Now I'm trying to be realistic.
She must be scared.
She is, and she should be. I still can't believe she let it happen.
What do you know about Josh?
Well, they hang out with the same crowd, but that's it. She really doesn't know him very well. God, what a mess. She's telling him about the baby later today.
I'd love to be there for that conversation. So what happens next?
I was up all night thinking about that. I don't want them to follow one mistake with another by skipping college. I want her to stay with us while Josh goes to school, and I'll help with the baby.
You think they'll get married?
Well, they have to. And I'll expect Josh to do all the dad stuff when he's not in school. No frat parties for him.
Do you really think that's a good idea? She's only 18 and she barely knows this guy.
It's a little late to worry about that.
Well, how's Dad doing with all of this?
He wanted to confront Josh last night, but Maureen convinced him it was her problem and that she needs to deal with it.
At least that's a sign of maturity. It is her problem, and I'm glad she recognizes it.
A really tiny silver lining.
See what Dad thinks about the marriage thing. Like you said, you don't want him following one mistake with another.
How can they not get married? How can I show my face in church with an unmarried daughter and an illegitimate grandchild?
Mom, this isn't about you. This is about Maureen. No one at church will judge you, or if they do, then they're not really your friends. The good people will respect you for supporting your daughter, and that includes Father Mike. Talk to Dad, see what he says, but I think marriage would be a disaster.
Scene 2, Monday afternoon. The rooms are empty. It's raining outside. The front door opens and closes, and Tom enters. He's wearing a raincoat and carries his briefcase and umbrella. A stack of mail is in his free hand. He hangs up the coat and umbrella, then goes to the kitchen. He places his phone and keys on the table, then starts flipping through the letters. Kate enters from the bedrooms.
Hi, honey. You're home early?
I wanted to be here when Maureen got home. Also, Father Mike's coming over later.
Really? He didn't say anything to me.
I talked to him after Mass. He's coming to see me.
That's a first. You gonna tell him about Maureen?
He's probably already seen it on Instagram.
I need to go shopping. I'll take the girls with me so you two can have some privacy.
Thanks.
Have you thought any more about what we should do?
We should go away for a year instead of just a weekend.
Great idea, but not practical.
I'm at a loss. I didn't see ahead on this one. I'm just as surprised and disappointed as you are.
I don't want to leave her high and dry. She's still just a kid.
Why can't she be mentally an adult and physically a kid instead of the other way around?
Do you think they should get married?
Maybe that would just make things worse. She's not ready to get married, and we don't know a thing about this guy.
Not an illegitimate baby. Just going too far.
It doesn't have the same stigma it used to.
But it should have a stigma. Whatever happened to shame?
I'm just trying to be realistic.
I also think this little person deserves to have a daddy.
What if Josh isn't so great? A bad dad is worse than no dad.
If only she'd abstained.
Is that realistic? Did you and I abstain? We weren't any smarter. We were just lucky.
You and I were in a long-term relationship. You weren't just some guy I barely knew.
We both know the sex started before the relationship was long-term.
You know how this would impact us, don't you? We'll be supporting her and helping raise this baby for the next 20 plus years. Goodbye golden years and retirement.
I'm 20 years away from retirement anyway. Listen, of course I know this impacts us big time, but this is our grandchild. I want it to impact us big time.
Tom, what's going on at work? You're suddenly unreachable for hours or even days at a time. That's never happened before.
Do we really need to talk about this? Are we under enough stress as it is?
I just want to know what you're up to.
Would you trust me if I said I wasn't doing anything wrong?
Are you in some kind of trouble?
No, I just don't want to talk about it. And I want you to trust me.
You've been working weekends, late, nights.
It's the biggest project the firm's ever had. There are a million things I need to do. First, you're questioning me about how I manage our money. Now you're questioning where I spend my time. What's going on, Kate?
I didn't question how you manage our money. I just want to know where it is. I don't think that's unreasonable.
Damn it, Kate. Why all this sudden suspicion?
Because you've never acted like this before.
Do I really have to account for every minute of every day? Can't I have a little time to myself? Can't I have secrets?
Oh, I thought that in a good marriage, there are no secrets.
Don't you have any? I believe that in a good marriage, there are secrets, but each spouse trusts the other enough not to intrude on them.
The front door opens and closes with a slam, and Maureen runs through the room in tears. Mary emerges from the bedrooms and steps to the side as Maureen goes past her and exits.
That's not good.
Tom follows Maureen to her room. The front door opens again, and Margaret enters carrying both backpacks. She dumps them on the sofa.
What happened?
She talked to Josh after school. Apparently it didn't go so well. She didn't tell me any details, but she let me drive for once, and she cried all the way home.
Guess we can hold off on printing those wedding invitations.
Tom's cell phone rings on the kitchen table. Kate picks it up and looks at the caller ID.
Who is it?
Tiffany?
Are you going to answer?
Think you should.
No. I'll let her leave a message.
Maureen and Tom emerge from the bedrooms.
Tell us what happened, Mo.
It was awful, Dad. I saw Josh after school and he blew up at me. He wanted to know how I could have let it happen, like it was all my fault.
Oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry.
He also said he's going to college and didn't want to be stuck with a kid. God, it was terrible.
Well, he should have thought of that before he took his pants off. Give me his number. I'd like to talk to him myself and his parents.
I can't face them. They'll think I've screwed up their son's life.
I don't care what they think. They need to know what he's done.
Maybe after he thinks about it some more, he'll calm down. Listen, sweetheart, this is tough for everyone, most of all you, but we don't want you to think you're going to have to face it alone. I hope Josh wants to be a part of your life, but we're ready to help you regardless.
Thanks, Mom.
We'll get through this together. It's what families do.
Scene 3, Monday evening. Tom and Father Mike are seated at the dining table. Each has a bottle of beer. It's raining outside.
I tell you, Father, it was a hell of a weekend.
You're in a tough spot, Tom. How can I help?
Hey, you can keep an eye on Kate. This is really tough for her.
Oh, I know how she thinks. She'll not be taking it well. Can I talk to Maureen?
Sure. But be aware, she's not very religious these days, though it's more laziness than any real conviction.
She's a good girl, I know that. She must be scared.
She is. She knows what a big deal this is. I hear Maggie asked if you're gay.
She did, and without hesitation. I'll give her credit. She's fearless and direct.
She seems a little preoccupied with the subject these days.
You think she might be gay?
I don't know. It's just something she talks about a lot.
She's growing up, discovering a lot of new things.
I'm glad you didn't answer. It's none of her business.
It's a child's nature to be curious. That's a good thing. How long have I known you, Tom? 10 years, maybe 12?
13, since we moved to Providence.
13. My, it goes quickly. You folks have become important members of our community.
That's mostly Kate. She finds a lot of solace in the church. It's very important to her.
Oh, so I've gathered, and I'm gratified by it. But I'm wondering about you now. In all those years, I don't believe you've been to confession even once, and you've never shown any interest in participating in the parish.
I'm not a confession type of guy.
We all have things to confess.
I have plenty to confess, but I don't really believe in absolution. And I'm not crazy about the way the church makes us feel like our human failings are sins. I believe the whole guilt thing is just a way to keep people on the hook.
Do you feel on the hook?
No, I'm just a skeptic.
Why do you go then? I mean, why attend Mass every week and call yourself a Catholic?
Because it's important to my wife, and she's important to me. I believe in what Jesus preached. It's the church I have problems with.
You attended St. Paul's Academy in Farmington. Isn't that right?
It is.
Then you probably knew Father Joseph Ryan.
I did. I was an altar boy, and he coached the basketball team. I thought he was a good man, but he wasn't.
I never knew the man, and now he's gone and roasting in hell. I hope I never do.
He betrayed us all.
I was wondering if Father Ryan was the source of your problems with the church.
I don't think so.
Is there some doubt in there?
One of my best friends was a victim, though I didn't find out until later when the scandal broke. But I saw how it changed him in high school. He dropped out our junior year, and no one knew why. I haven't seen him since.
Is that why you turned away from us?
No. I just started looking at things differently as I grew up. Faith is important, Father, but some teachings simply defy logic. Can I share something with you? Something that's weighing pretty heavily on me these days?
Is this a confession?
No, it's more of an unburdening.
That's really the whole point of a confession.
Well, this is something I haven't told Kate. My project is way behind schedule because of all these storms. We get paid as the building progresses, so no progress, no payments.
But you still have staff and overhead.
Exactly. All our projects have been affected. There was a cash call among the firm's partners, and I had to put in a big chunk to help keep us afloat. If the project fails, the company could be ruined. Everything.
And you haven't told Kate. Why not?
She's real edgy about money, and the timing is bad. College is right around the corner.
The timing's never good for this sort of thing.
And I've kept it a secret for too long. If I tell her now, she'll be mad that I didn't tell her sooner. But if we go belly up and I never told her, then I could lose her.
Take your medicine now. It will be painful, but it's a whole lot better than the alternative.
But if everything goes okay, we could get all our money back without her ever finding out.
Now you're making excuses. Seems to me you're afraid to tell her. Not that I blame you.
And I looked at this partnership as a way to secure our future. There's a real possibility it could destroy it.
I don't know if you want my advice, but I say tell her now. She'll probably find out either way, and then you'll really be in the stew.
She might already suspect something. Last night she said you asked if we could review our finances. First time she's done that in years.
Then you might be in the stew already.
Have you ever been in love, Father?
Oh, yes. Many times. I left one particular heart very broken back in Ireland. We were engaged, but along the way I realized I was called to serve God. She never forgave me.
Then you'll understand what it means to take care of the ones you love. The ones that it's your job to protect.
Well, I feel that way about my parish. As all these scandals come out, I feel the shame and embarrassment you're feeling now. I also learned that the cover-up can be as much as a sin as the act. Tell her.
Scene 4, Tuesday morning. Margaret is in the kitchen, dressed for school. Tom enters dressed for work.
Morning, Mags. How'd you sleep?
Okay, I guess. It's pretty wild to think that this time next year I'll be an aunt.
And I'll be a grandpa. I'm not old enough to be a grandpa.
Wasn't your dad about the same age when he became a grandpa?
Yeah, but he seems so much older. I don't feel anywhere near that mature.
You're not. Dad, what do you think of gay marriage?
That's a departure. You asking for any particular reason?
It's a big topic at school. Our teachers say it's wrong, but most of my friends wonder why two people shouldn't be allowed to get married if they love each other.
Most religions think that it goes against nature. The Bible certainly says that.
But being gay is a natural thing. If everyone comes from God, then so do gay people.
Makes sense to me. Speaking of relationships, what's going on in your life?
Look, if you really have to know, I've been hanging out with Jordan Malone. There's nothing much to it. We just like each other's company.
Well, that's great to hear. Do I know Jordan?
Dad, you know the Malone twins, the brother and sister?
I'm not sure. What's the other one's name?
Taylor.
Jordan and Taylor. That's real helpful. Whatever happened to first names as first names?
Maureen enters from her bedroom, also dressed for school.
Good morning, Mo. How's your night?
I don't think I slept at all.
Have some breakfast. You'll feel better.
Maureen looks at him for a moment, then puts her hand to her mouth and runs back toward the bedroom.
Nice one, Dad. Don't you know anything about pregnant women?
I'm not ready to start thinking about her that way. And I don't think your mom ever had morning sickness.
You remember who won the NBA title 20 years ago, but you don't remember if Mom had morning sickness.
Some things are more important than others.
Maureen returns to the kitchen.
Sorry about that, sweetie. I'll be more careful. You want anything at all?
I don't even want to see food. Ready to go, dweeb?
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, girls. And Maureen, be strong. We'll talk tonight.
Maureen and Margaret exit through the front door. Kate emerges from the bedrooms.
I just talked to Maggie. She asked me about gay marriage, though I couldn't tell if she was just testing the waters or talking about current affairs. Also, I found out our mystery person is Jordan Malone.
Oh, we know the Malone twins. They're in her class.
And that's what she said, a boy and a girl named Jordan and Taylor. But I'm not sure I know who they are.
Oh, they couldn't be more different. The girl is really cute and a great student, and the boy is bad news. Long hair, tattoos, the whole 9 yards. I'm not sure which one's which either.
Oh, that's just great. Our daughter's either gay or likes headbangers.
Most teenage girls have a crush on a bad boy at some point. It's just a form of rebellion. It'll pass.
How's Maureen's little experiment with rebellion going? It isn't passing anytime soon. I actually hope Maggie's gay.
Oh, you don't mean that.
I do mean it. If she's a lesbian, then at least we know she has good taste. If she's straight, we may need to worry about her getting knocked up by some wannabe Axl Rose.
Let's not overreact.
I'll try. But I've never felt so out of control in my life.
Tom kisses Kate, then grabs his raincoat, briefcase, and umbrella and exits. Kate goes to the kitchen and pours a cup of coffee. Mary enters from the bedrooms.
Good morning, Mom. How are you?
Yeah, feeling pretty overwhelmed.
I'm not surprised.
I still can't believe all this is happening. I want to help your sister, but I'm not sure how.
She's lucky to have you. Grandma wouldn't have been so understanding.
Oh, she would have thrown her out.
She was from a different time.
Medieval times. She thought I was such a disappointment, and I never understood why. I was never smart, beautiful, or talented enough to satisfy her. And worst of all, I was never pious enough.
What about your dad?
He just brought home a paycheck and felt that as long as there was food on the table, his job was done.
Must have been tough to grow up like that.
It was very isolating. I was an only child, so I didn't really have anyone to talk to.
What got you so involved with the church?
Oh, my mother was very active in the parish. I guess it was a way to try to connect to her.
Did it work?
No. My mother didn't warm up to people, including me or even my dad. In all their time together, I don't remember ever seeing them kiss or hold hands. Their relationship was very formal.
Was she strict?
Only about religion. Other than that, she wasn't very involved in my life.
Maybe you're still trying to connect with her, even though she's gone.
Then I'll never be able to.
Did you talk to Dad? Find out where he's been?
Didn't go very well. He got really defensive and said I should trust him.
You do trust him, but that's a different subject. You're not asking unreasonable things.
I hate not knowing.
Burying your head in the sand is not going to make anything better. You have every right to know. This isn't 1950.
Scene 5, Tuesday night. Tom is in the living room, pacing back and forth. Margaret is sitting on the love seat, peering at her cell phone.
What on earth are you doing? Texting? It's a school night. Don't you have homework?
It's my study group. We're getting together tomorrow night to work on our AP chemistry project. We're just coordinating sometimes.
Who's in the group? Anyone I know?
I don't think so. Wen Zhang, Minling, Deepak Sharma, Sung-Hoon Kim, and Jason.
Jason Murphy? I know him.
Jason Chang.
You want a great career? Become a lawyer specializing in H-1B visas.
They're only a couple generations newer than us, Dad. Would you like him better if his last name was McChang?
So, tell me more about Jordan Malone.
Please, Dad, this is so embarrassing.
I hope you know you can tell me anything.
I promise I will if there's ever anything to tell.
All right, I'm done guessing. Which one is Jordan, the boy or girl?
Dad, I'm not gay.
Just checking. I never assume anything these days, but is Jordan really your type?
No. And I realize he's not what I want. I don't get a lot of attention from guys, and I didn't think I could be choosy. But now I know I should be choosy, even if that means waiting.
Good. I'm glad at least one of you learned that.
Kate enters from the bedrooms. Tom stops and looks at her expectantly.
It's definitely positive. 2 tests. I saw the results myself.
Damn, just our luck. Maybe the first test she's ever aced. Yeah, I want to talk to Josh and his dad tonight.
Maybe you're right.
Maureen enters and sits on the sofa across from Margaret.
Mags, can you give us a little time with your sister?
No way, man. I'm not missing this.
She should stay. This affects her too, and I want her to learn the consequences of this type of thing. Let's talk about the plan we discussed. You still on board?
There is another option.
Rushing into a marriage with Josh is probably not a good idea, especially as things are right now.
That's not what I meant.
I know you're skeptical about school, but at least consider community college.
I'm thinking maybe I won't have the baby.
What? What are you saying?
Kayla and Mackenzie told me there's a clinic I can go to. They know a few girls who have been there.
You can't do that. I won't let you do that. It's murder.
It's not really up to you, Mom. I'm 18. I can decide for myself.
Tom,
I don't know what to say.
you're talking about killing your child. Do you realize that?
It's not a child yet, Mom. It's just a clump of cells.
This is not a scab you can pick off and throw away. This is a human being we're talking about. One that you have a God-given responsibility to protect. This is your son or daughter. This is my grandchild.
Mom, it's still so early. I don't really think it's a child until it looks like one. I'm not ready to be a mom. You said so yourself. This way I can go to college and have a normal life.
Okay, trying to buy me off by saying you want to go to college? Listen to me, young lady. There is nothing you can say that will ever allow me to agree to this. You want a normal life? You should have thought of that before you dropped your drawers.
Mom, you're overreacting.
Overreacting? Life is not a video game. There are no do-overs. You made what you thought was a very gross decision, and you will live with the grown-up consequence. You not murder your child because it's inconvenient.
It's not your decision to make. I'm an adult and it's up to me. I simply don't look at it as a child yet. Why can't you understand that?
What your mom's saying is that there are a lot of things to consider. There's
Like what? I know exactly what's at stake. I can go back to my regular life. A life I really like, by the way. Or I can have a baby I'm not ready for. It would screw up everything.
Your life will never again be this it was, regardless of what you do. Even if you end this pregnancy, your life will be different. You will wake up every day with the knowledge that you killed your child.
Stop trying to control my life. This is my way out.
We'll help you. You won't be facing it on your own. You'll have a life that's different from the one you have now, but it will be normal. And you'll have a beautiful baby that we'll all love and care for.
What do you know about any of this? You're only worried that I'll be damned if I go through with it. Well, life on this earth is a whole lot more real to me than whatever might happen after I die.
Do you have any idea what you're saying?
I know exactly what I'm saying. I don't want this baby and I don't need it.
You're only 18. You know nothing about real pain or regret. Those come only with age. And when you've had a lifetime to reflect, you'll look back on this decision as the worst one of your life.
How on earth do you know what I'll think? I may look back on this as the best decision I've ever made. The decision that gave me back my freedom and independence. You have no idea what I'm going through. But it feels like to suddenly have your whole world collapse.
Maureen, I am bending. Dear God, I am bending as far as I can for the sake of this family. I'm begging you, don't make me break.
This is not about you. It's about my body and my decision. And I can't believe you're lecturing me about how I might feel someday. How can you possibly know?
Because I made the same decision.
what? What decision?
You heard me. I made the same decision. I killed our baby.
My God, what baby? When?
Mary appears from the bedroom and begins to walk toward them.
Oh, sweetheart. You.
Okay, Mom. You're right to tell them.
I promised myself I'd never tell anyone.
They need to know.
It's my darkest secret.
It's time to unburden yourself. It's been long enough.
When we were in college, I got pregnant. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have anyone to turn to.
You had an abortion?
Yes. And it was the worst decision of my life. I live with that guilt and that shame ever since. I took away her hopes, her dreams, her future. I took away everything she would ever have. She'll never hold my hand or kiss me goodnight. She'll never hug her daddy or sleep in his arms. She'll never know her two beautiful sisters because I killed her because she was inconvenient.
Why?
Oh, you were juniors and you were about to go to Columbia for 2 years. I didn't know if I'd ever see you again. I knew there was a very real chance that I'd be a single mother, and I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for any of it.
Why didn't you tell me? We knew by then we were going to get married.
We weren't engaged, and you were going to be gone for a long time. If I had told you, what would you have done?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. And so do I. You would have stayed in Providence and married me. I couldn't do that to you. I couldn't do it to us. A baby would have changed everything. Just like Maureen said.
You didn't tell anyone?
No. I couldn't tell my mother. She would have disowned me. That's why I didn't even consider adoption. I wanted it to be over so I could pretend it had never happened. I thought my life would go right back to the way it was, but of course it didn't.
I can't believe you never told me. What am I supposed to think?
Well, I hope you think that I loved you very much, and I didn't want to ruin your future, our future.
But I should have had a say. I deserved that much. It was my child too.
I know that now. I'd give anything to undo what I did, but I can't. I see her almost every day. Sometimes for just a few minutes, sometimes longer. I even talk to her. I've tried to give her back the life I took away, even if it's only in my mind. Oh, you'd be so proud of her, Tom. She's a beautiful young woman now. Her name is Mary.
I had no idea.
Can you ever forgive me?
I don't know what to think right now. I'm sorry, but I need to clear my head.
Tom retrieves his jacket from the coat rack and exits.
Girls, I am so sorry.
I'm glad you told them. Now you three need to talk.
Mary exits.
Mom? Are you?
Crazy? No, I don't think so. I know she's not real. I just so wish she was. She's there when I have questions or when I need advice. Sometimes she just keeps me company. She even gives me courage. She tells me things I know in my heart, but I don't have the strength to say. But I wonder if I was crazy, would I even know it?
Have you thought of seeing have you thought about seeing a therapist?
I've never had the courage to talk to anyone. Maybe now I should.
Free to go with you, if it would help. I'm sure Dad would too.
You guys would do that for me?
Of course we would. We'd support you through anything. That's what families do.
Thanks for listening to me. Really appreciate it.
Maureen and Margaret exit. Kate, still stunned, stands in silence. Mary enters.
Glad you told them?
Oh, I feel so ashamed. They all know I made a terrible mistake.
You already felt the shame. And maybe it wasn't a mistake.
How can you say that? You'd be a young woman today, older than I was when I walked into that clinic.
Or maybe I'd be a young man.
Oh, God, I never really thought about that. In my mind, you were always a girl. Young, beautiful, talented.
And pious.
Yes, and pious.
All the things you believe your mother thought you weren't.
You've always been my perfect child. The one who always respected me, listened to me, appreciated me. The one person in my life who never let me down. And that includes myself most of all. How can it possibly not have been a mistake?
Because I never would have been all those things if I had been born. I would have been a normal child, not the one you imagined all these years.
I guess that's probably true.
And you are also right that having me would have changed everything. You wouldn't have Maureen or Margaret. Can you imagine that?
No, I can't. They're the lights of my life.
I'm glad you see that. Now you need to forgive yourself. And you need to let me go.
I would miss you so much. You've become an important part of my life, in many ways the best part.
The best parts of your life are your husband and your daughters. Turn to them and to yourself.
I love you, sweetheart. And I am so sorry.
I love you too, Mom. Promise me you'll go to confession. It's good for the soul.
The front door opens and Tom enters. Mary stands aside.
I'm sorry I left, Kate, but I was feeling pretty overwhelmed. I called Father Mike and asked him to come over.
Oh, I'm not sure I'm ready to face him.
I'm disappointed you didn't feel you could confide in me. We're supposed to be partners in everything.
Didn't you tell me that in a good marriage, the spouses can have secrets? I know you have yours. This one's been mine.
I meant little secrets.
Little secrets? Is that what you have? Don't lecture me about confiding, and when you haven't been open and honest with me either.
Maureen and Margaret enter.
Are you guys okay?
We're fine. There's just some things we need to get out into the open.
The doorbell rings. Tom opens it and Father Mike enters.
Thanks for coming, Father.
He told you what I did.
He did, Kate. And it's not my place to judge. I'm just sorry we didn't have this conversation long ago.
You're right, Kate. I haven't been honest. I don't know how you found out, but I'm sorry it wasn't from me.
Oh, God. I knew it. I can't believe this is happening, not on top of everything else. How could you cheat on me?
Daddy!
I'm not sure that we're on the same page. I'm talking about my company.
Are you sure you two wouldn't like to be alone? Maybe I can take the girls out.
Thanks, Father, but this affects them too. It's my project, Kate. It's way behind schedule, and if it fails, it could be a disaster for all of us. Things are really tight, and there was a cash call among the partners. We each made a big contribution, and I'm sorry I didn't tell you about it.
I thought you were having an affair.
Why would you think that? I'd never cheat on you.
I guess I was just insecure. How much did you put in?
All our savings and some of our college fund.
What? How could you do something like that without talking to me first?
I was scared to tell you. With college right around the corner, I knew the timing was bad.
Oh, dear God. What makes you think you have the right to make decisions like that on your own? This isn't 1950.
I didn't want to stress you out. I hoped the weather would clear and everything would be okay.
That's a cop-out.
Yeah, I guess it is. To be honest, I didn't have the guts to stand up to my partners and say, I have to talk to my wife first.
You know I would have supported you. When do we get it back?
When the project's done, at least a year, maybe 2.
All of it?
I hope so.
That was a decision we should have made together.
Well, now you know what I've been up to. I've been meeting with bankers and other potential investors to see if we can raise money. It's been a tough sell.
So where do we go from here?
I'm still the man you married. I made a mistake by not consulting you, but let's not overlook everything our marriage stands for. We're lucky to have each other, and our girls need us now more than ever.
We have some tough times ahead of us. I need to know I can trust you again.
What about you? Any other skeletons in your closet?
There wasn't room for anything else.
Kate, may I say a few words to Mary?
Of course.
Dear Mary, I don't know if you can hear me, but I believe you can. You have a powerful place in your mother's heart, and that's enough for me to believe you're real. Your mother's not the only one with regrets. When she needed compassion, she didn't think I could provide it. When she needed forgiveness, she didn't believe I'd grant it. It's my job to make our church a warm and loving community, but for her, it's been a place of judgment. I failed her, and you, Mary, and for that, I truly am sorry. You've been your mother's confidant for a long time, Mary. But it's time for her to let you go. I believe you'll soon find yourself in a glorious place where I hope to meet you someday. And when that time comes, we'll share a warm embrace and talk of this loving family and the mother who cared for you so deeply. Till then, Mary, goodbye. And God bless you.
Mary turns and exits.
Thank you, Father.
Kate, I believe with all my heart that God and Mary forgives you. And I pray you'll find the strength to forgive yourself.
I don't know what to do, Mom. This is a whole lot bigger than I realized.
I know.
Will you help me figure it out? Help me decide what to do?
I hope and pray you'll want to keep this baby. But I know only you can make the final decision. I promise I'll help you however I can. And I'll stand with you no matter what.
Thanks, Mom. I really need you guys right now.
Of course, sweetheart. That's what families do.
The end.
That concludes tonight's performance of Quiet Cross. Thank you all for attending. I'm very grateful to the Oceanside Theater Company, the Scripps Ranch Theater, and to our remarkable actors for making tonight's presentation possible. I hope you all enjoyed the show, and please consider making a donation to support our local theater community during these difficult times. Good night, everyone.
Everybody come back and say goodbye.
Everybody come back on. Take your curtain off.